and welcome back to another episode of the Sheffield Wednesday Let's Play. And in this episode we'll go through the transfers that we did on deadline day, an extremely busy deadline day, and by busy I mean chaotic. Lots of ins, lots of outs, a record transfer fees in of 17.5 million overall, and a start to the season that's going to make people's eyes bleed. So if we go to the fixture schedule, we'll do these first. We're top of the league. Actually, we'll show you the table first. We won't go through the fixtures. We'll give away some of our goal scorers. We're top of the league. 6 games played, 5 wins, a draw, no defeats, 14 scored and 6 conceded. The new blood has gelled in so well, and we only got stronger on deadline day. So we'll go to the old transfer history. So in the last episode, we got up to Valerie leaving. Jamal Lowe left. We made a bit of money on him. He's gone out to whatever club that is. I've never heard of him in Poland. We made £225,000 on him, which means he went for £225,000. Wasn't in my plans for the season. Out of contract at the end of the season as well. So it made sense just to cash in, get a bit of money for him. So he left and was on a large wage as well. Ugbo went out on loan to Reading. They're paying 90% of his wage. I was fine with that. He still has another year on his contract after this season, and I believe it looks like there's also a future fee in there of nothing. I think it was nothing. So he will leave at the end of the season. Patrick Bamford left on deadline day. There was 2 outs on deadline day. Patrick Bamford left for £625,000. He didn't want to stay here. He's gone to Spain. He's not in my plans for the season. He came in sort of like we just wanted a player in that position last year. So he came in. He's gone out to Spain, so he can enjoy some sunshine out there. And then Pierce Charles was the only other player to leave on the old deadline day. £5 million is all we got for Pierce Charles. His contract was up in the summer. It got to a point where we couldn't not take the money, because in January, obviously being his age, there'll be clubs over Europe wanting him, and he would go for a very small fee. So we've taken the £5 million now. He's gone to Swansea and had a stinker on his debut. So that's quite funny. So we have been busy. So we signed 4 players on deadline day, and they're the only 4 players that have joined since we last met. Alan Brown was a player I actually wanted to sign, but because he was contracted to a club, we couldn't sign him. And then he got released by Sunderland. We've snapped him up. 31 years old, not on a lot of money, 2-year contract, can play multiple positions, is just a very solid championship midfielder. Offers a bit more... midfield is very experienced. Like, you've got to think we've got Barry Bannan in there and Joe Rawls, as well as another new player. Dan Barlassa. I've chased this man all summer. 29 years old. He is the direct Barry Bannan replacement, because we do need one now. But we've got so many options in midfield now. He can play further forward if we need him to. Play in the 6, play in the 8. There's a lot of money, 24 grand a week, 3-year contract for him, but was a player I really wanted to get in. And I'm so pleased we've got him in. He is on a lot of money, like I say. But thankfully, he is now our player. We'll get onto the striker in a minute. Josh Vickers joined as a backup goalkeeper. Though I had a promise to sign a goalkeeper. I've signed a goalkeeper, but the promise still hasn't gone away. So expect Mark Sykes and Carlin Grant to throw up a fuss. But Josh Vickers just joins as a backup goalkeeper. Obviously, we can still sign free agents as well up until until March. And also in January, we'll be able to spend transfer fees. So that'll be lovely. And Gaston Valles is our Uruguayan striker. Free transfer. Completely different type of striker to what we've got. He's big. 192 centimetres. 13 finishing, 14 pace, so he's big, strong, something completely different to what we've got. So he joins only on £8,000 a week on a 3-year contract and using one of our ESC slots that we have available. So I'm delighted to get him over the board. So if we go look at the results, obviously we did all of these without the players that we had other than the 1st of September, the game against Charlton, which was on deadline day. So in the last episode, you obviously saw us beat Millwall. We then rotated the team, and you can see the team we put out. It was 11 changes to the side to play Stoke. We conceded in the first 60 seconds. It wasn't ideal. And from there, we were 3-0 down by a half hour. Patrick Bamford did get a goal back, but we lost 3-1, which I wasn't too disappointed about. considering we put the first team back in and we beat Luton Town 3-1. Jack Wilshere gave it a bit of in the old press saying we're not good enough to stay up, so we smacked them 3-1. Kobaki, Sykes and Paul Smith off the bench getting the goals, and that game was 1-1 after 61 minutes, so really, really pleased to get that. We followed that up with a 3-0 win away at Oxford. Ingleson, Cadamartri and Mark Sykes again scoring for us. Ingleson is currently injured. He's annoyed. He's leaving on a free transfer at the end of the season, so we have no say in that. We're just going to lose him for free. Cadamartri again scoring. He's already got 4 goals this season, so it's started like he did last year. We then went to Wales to play Wrexham. Cadamartri got 2. And Tyler Anyongo got his first goal for the club off the bench after Wrexham had led the game twice. But we pegged them back twice and then got a 95th minute winner courtesy of Cadamartri. As you can see, we're not really very good at defending, but we followed that with a 3-3 draw against Blackburn. Our Icelandic Big Dan scored his first goal for the club. The Thai 16-year-old we've got from our youth intake scored his second goal for the club, and a second in a month. And Cadamartri once again completing the comeback for us to draw the game 3-3. And then finally we went to Charlton away from home and we won 1-0. Carlan Grant, who I believe came through the Charlton Academy, if I am not mistaken, he did, scoring against the club that developed him. So all in all, you've seen the table. I'm absolutely delighted. 2 points clear at the top, 4 points clear of Middlesbrough, who are the team in third. I'm really hoping this can continue in today's episode, knowing what will happen against Cardiff. We'll go and lose. Cardiff, obviously newest promoted, not won a game yet. So let's get cracking into today's game. The team pretty much picks itself at the moment. Obviously, we've lost Pierce Charles as goalkeeper, so Josh Vickers will be that man if he appears on this list, which he is not. So I've now got to go in the plethora of players I've got down here. I've got to go find Josh Vickers. There he is. So he comes onto the substitutes bench. I've noticed that this doesn't really work properly. And try and drag it again. Doesn't work again. So if I go to pick, there's another way you do it. You pick and then that there. So at the moment we've got Reece Johnson out injured, who actually is our natural left back. He got an injury on the first game of the season, so Noel Huggins has been playing there and playing there rather well. Joe Rules is currently unhappy because he was stripped of vice captaincy. He's currently the vice captain of the football club, so whatevs. In terms of the team, Fasuri's playing really well in the middle of the park. We've obviously got Barry Bannan, but then you've got Barlasser on the bench, you've got Alan Brown on the bench. We have quality in midfield for this season. Jeremy McDonald I probably need to give some more game time to, but he's just not getting the rub of the green at the moment. Nor's Ernie Weaver. Dominic Iorfa's also still here. He's the only player that I really wanted to get rid of that we probably actually didn't get rid of in the end, but foreign transfer windows are still open, so he may still leave the club. So in terms of the team, it's pretty much going to pick itself because it has in recent weeks. Spafford will play in the attacking midfield position still because I believe Ingleson is still injured at present, and if Ingleson is fit he'll start, but I can't even find his name. There he is. He is currently still injured for another 10 days, so Spafford will be the man that starts there. We could easily chuck Alan Brown in or Barlasser, but we're not going to. So the team is Bender, Big Dan, Bernard, who didn't get any offers, so he's happy to stay for now, but he'll probably leave at the end of the season, which is really annoying. Ratanj White, Huggins, Vasuri, Bannan, Sykes, Spafford, Carlan Grant, and the big man, Cadamartri, leading the line, which leaves Vickers, Onyango, Barlasser, Brearley, Brown, Smith, Kobaki, Granger, and Valles on the bench. You could argue that quality out wide is still a problem. I can understand that. We have tactics where we can ditch wingers. We can play a diamond. A diamond may suit us quite well, but then again, we've only really got one striker that I want to play, which is Cadamartri. We need a backup, which is the Uruguayan. So, yeah, we've got to we've got to develop a tactic, I think, where we do just play centrally, because especially Sykes can probably play wing back as well. But I suppose Big Dan, he can also play in midfield. He can also play in the 10 position as well if we needed him to. So let's get into today's game against Cardiff City, looking to continue our really good run of form, knowing what will happen because we're recording. We'll go and lose, which will be a very Sheffield Wednesday thing to do. But I think our record on live commentary, I think it's actually okay. So this will be interesting. Who have Cardiff got? They've got a new goalkeeper, got a new left back, a new centre midfielder. Lewis Kumas, Jaden Anthony's there as well. Miles Pert Harris is on the bench as well. Rocco Simic, I believe, is there in real life anyway. So they've got a really good squad of Cardiff City. So this will be a very interesting game. Hopefully, we can continue our unbeaten start to this championship season. It's come out of nowhere, really. I really didn't expect us to do this well. Top of the league. Cardiff City haven't won a game. 3 draws and 3 defeats. In my club, Orient will probably be a charity and give them the victory because that's how we operate. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens in this game as we get underway at Hillsborough, looking for another 3 points to extend our unbeaten run, because we were unbeaten at the end of last season as well. We won the last game of last season. If we got a top 6 finish, that's an extremely successful season. If we went up, we would massively obviously struggle, but we would be out of a transfer embargo, but we'd need a brand new team. But we shouldn't get too ahead of ourselves, shall we say. We've got a very long season ahead as Cadamartri spreads the play to Noel Huggins, who now drives forward. Huggins loses the ball, it's cleared, and now in transition, Cardiff City are on the break. Robertson knocks it around the corner for Callum Robertson, and Callum Robinson's in, and Callum Robinson scores. 3rd goal of the season, and the team that haven't won this season take the lead against the team who are unbeaten this season. Really poor. Huggins should have turned back, probably just kept the ball, lost it. They've launched the ball forward, and Robertson's just picked Callum Robinson out, who's very tidily finished it. And we trail their only shot of the game so far for Cardiff, as we now have another highlight here as Bernard finds Bender in goal. He finds it Bernard. Bernard can turn, he doesn't. Bender, this is good. There we go. We've got so much space for Banan here to drive the ball. Knocks it wide to Carlin Grant. Now, Carlin Grant just needs to drive at his man. Gets past his man. Drives into the box. Cuts inside. Gets past his next man. Carlin Grant still. And should just square it. The amount of times wingers dance around everyone. They get to the final bit and it's like, just square the ball. And somebody's got to tap in. And they never ever do. So there's probably an instruction for me to find shoot less often or something like that I need to probably click on. But that's just square it. And one of our 4, we have 3 men in the box there. One of them would have tapped it in. As we approach half time, we're still not scoring. We've had that only really one chance from Carlin Grant. It's been a really poor first half from us. The live commentary curse is happening here because I really want to keep this unbeaten run going. Their goalkeeper's got a 7.4. As we've got a highlight here, we've got a set piece on the stroke of half time. This will be the last chance before half time. But Barry Banan whips it in, and Colin Grant's there, and he's offside anyway, but he's ballooned it over the bar. And that is half time. That was the chance, but his flag was up anyway, so it doesn't overly matter. But that first half was abysmal. Unfortunately, the Spafford, the 16-year-old, is really struggling in attacking midfield. So we've got experience on the bench, but they're all kind of more defensive-minded midfielders. As there is another highlight, Cal Robinson, that should be dealt with by Bernard, and it is. We've just got to keep the ball, yep. Back to the goalkeeper. That's a good ball into Barry Banan. Now, can pick a pass. Good, Cadamartri. Out wide to Grant. Now, can he use his pace? Finds Huggins. Grant. 1-2 with Grant. Now, here's Huggins. Huggins into the box. Will he square it? Rabona's it across the face. I'm pretty sure he's Rabona'd that. And Mark Sykes at the back post scores his 3rd goal of the season. And it's 1-1. Instant impact in the second half. I'm pretty sure he's Rabona'd that cross across the face of goal. And Mark Sykes taps home. That's what Carlin Grant should have done in the first half. As we now have a throw-in in our final third. Mark Sykes on the ball. Gets a good cross in as well. And Carlin Grant climbs, and Carlin Grant scores his 2nd goal of the season. 8 minutes into the second half. We've completely turned this game on its head. And we now lead 2-1. Get in there. But defensively, in the last couple of games, other than probably Charlton, we've looked extremely suspect conceding goals. Especially Blackburn, we conceded 3. Wrexham, we've conceded 2. So it's not all dandy at the back. But we still, if you look at this team, we've got a new front of 3, no new midfielders, 2 new fullbacks and a new goalkeeper. And you go on the bench, we've got a lot of new players, as Barry Banan will make way for Dan Barlassa. Alan Brown will also come on for Fissuri, so 2 new players in midfield for legs. And we're going to give our big Uruguayan striker his debut for Cadamartri, who's not really got going in this game. So 3 new signings on the pitch as well. It's really nice to see that. This is what I love about Foot Manager compared to like something like EAFC. Squads change like massively, and it's so easy to sign players on pre-contracts on EAFC. And you don't have the embargoes like with Sheffield Wednesday and stuff like that. We have an embargo. We can only sign free players. We've made £17 million and I haven't been able to spend a penny. It's all in the wage budget, just free agents. As we head into the final 2 minutes of the game, there is a highlight. Please get the ball. Ruben Colwill finds Wintle. I probably should have changed some stuff around, but Grant loses the ball. Wintle driving for Brown, sort of intercepts. Callum Chambers into Colwill, round the corner for Wintle. I probably should have made some tactical tweaks, and I haven't. As Cardiff come forward in the final minute, Ryan Wintle goes for goal, and it's a good save by the goalkeeper. Whew. That was lucky. As we head into the final 30 seconds of the game, that's launch long, and that should be that. And we've won. Another victory for Sheffield Wednesday. Still top of the league. Birmingham are chasing us in second place. But another victory. It's 6 wins. It's 6 wins from 7 or 5 wins from 6. We're about to find out. It's 5 wins from 6. 8 unbeaten in the Championship. That's looking extremely delicious, isn't it? Leeds down in 6th. Like, you look at the teams that got relegated. Leeds 16th. Wolves are 4th. They made about £80 million this summer. Did Wolves and Leeds and transfers. And Burnley are down in 17th too. So it's an excellent start to the season for us. Hopefully, this will continue as we mean to go on. We're only the 1 game today because of the transfer roundup, so we'll go back to our 2 game episodes in the next episode. When do we come back, though, is the question. It all probably depends how we're doing. Because I'm well aware you probably don't want to see us finish mid-table again in terms of have mass episodes of us finishing mid-table. If we're at the top, you probably want to see them more. I think we do these 2 in mid-October. It's not a very long break. It's what, 1, 2, 3, 4 games. But we've got Wolves and Burnley, 2 relegated sides. So we should probably do them 2. Or there's Birmingham and Wolves there. And that's obviously 2nd and 4th. It'll be October. Maybe we do one of these then. And then do one of like Sheffield United or something. But anyway, it'll be around the October period. Because our game's coming up at Leeds, Birmingham, Wolves and Burnley. We're about to see how good we are. So if you have enjoyed, make sure you subscribe and like the video. Share it with your friends. That would be much appreciated. And we'll see you all in the middle of October. Can we keep up this unbeaten run?